I think there's a universal curiosity about how things work, especially in the human body. And one of those is, have you ever wondered how laying of hands actually works? So let's try to take a look at it today through Jungian psychology, talking about that unseen force or power that healers use and some patients depend upon. In 18th century Germany, an obstetrician named Franz Mesmer developed a treatment for hysterics called animal magnetism, which he believed was an unseen force that flowed through all living beings. Sounds familiar? He thought that this force could be manipulated by magnets and that it could cause various physical reactions, including convulsions. Now, while his ideas were eventually dismissed by the mainstream medical community, his theories laid the foundation for modern concepts of energy healing. In this context, the term animal magnetism refers to a vital energy that supposedly flows through all living creatures. This concept has roots in ancient Chinese medicine and other indigenous traditions, long before Mesmer came along. It was seen as a life force or vital fluid that was essential for health and well-being. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's known as Qi, in Ayurveda as prana, and in Native American traditions as mana. Now, interestingly, when you search the term animal magnetism online, it'll show you results related to astrology and psychic readings. And the general meaning is an irresistible charm or allure that a person possesses, like having star quality. But again, going back to our original question, how does it actually work? Well, let's start with the basics. According to Jung, the psyche is far from being a homogeneous unit. It is a veritable cosmos with many contradictions. Now, this idea of a subtle body is also found in various esoteric and metaphysical traditions, where it's often associated with concepts like an aura or energy field. And in these traditions, the subtle body is often seen as the vehicle for the soul and is believed to be capable of interacting with other subtle bodies, perhaps even allowing for various extrasensory experiences. But moving on to Jung, he didn't specifically refer to it as a subtle body, but he did talk about the human psyche in terms of layers or complexes. Jung also developed the concept of archetypes, which are essentially universal and unconscious mental structures that shape our perceptions and behaviors. In the context of energy healing, the archetype of the healer is particularly relevant. It represents a deep-seated human need for wholeness and restoration of balance, which is why it resonates so strongly with both healers and those seeking healing. Now, as Jung saw it, archetypes are part of the collective unconscious, which is a universal and shared layer of the unconscious mind that is common to all humans. These archetypes can manifest in various ways, such as in dreams, art, and religious myths. They are essentially these symbolic blueprints that influence our thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways we may not even be aware of. Now let's come back to that magnet metaphor. Just as a magnet has an invisible magnetic field that can be detected by certain instruments, Jung suggested that the psyche has an unseen energy field that can influence our behavior and experiences. And he believed that this field could be affected by various factors, including our beliefs, intentions, and emotions. In the context of energy healing, this means that the healer's beliefs and intentions could actually influence the energy field of the patient, potentially leading to physical or psychological changes. And here is where the power of belief and intention comes in. If the healer truly believes in the power of their touch to bring about healing, then it's possible that this belief could influence the energy field of the patient. For example, in a study published in the Journal of Holistic Nursing, researchers found that the intention of the nurse significantly affected the outcome of the healing process. When nurses had positive intentions for their patients, the patients experienced more rapid healing and fewer complications. Now, this could be explained in Jungian terms by the idea that the nurse's intentional energy field positively influences the patient's energy field, supporting the healing process. Moving on to Jung, he also talked about the importance of symbols in understanding the unconscious mind. And in the context of energy healing, the laying of hands could be seen as a symbolic ritual that activates the healer's unconscious mind and brings about healing. This is similar to the way that certain religious rituals can evoke deep feelings of faith and spirituality, even though there is no empirical evidence to support the effectiveness of these rituals. For example, in a study published in the Journal of Transpersonal Psychology, researchers found that individuals who participated in a symbolic ritual of forgiveness experienced a significant reduction in symptoms of anxiety and depression. Again, this suggests that the power of symbols and rituals can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. And the Jungian view, the laying of hands is more than just a physical act. It is a symbolic representation of the healer's intention to bring about healing. This intention is then projected onto the patient, creating an energetic exchange that can lead to physical and psychological changes. Now, while this concept may seem difficult to understand, Jung offered some insights that can shed light on the nature of magnetism. First off, he emphasized the importance of the collective unconscious in shaping our experiences. As mentioned earlier, the collective unconscious is a universal and shared layer of the unconscious mind that contains ancient and primal images and patterns of behavior. Jung believed that these patterns, known as archetypes, influence our thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways we may not even be aware of. In the context of energy exchange, this means that there are certain universal patterns of behavior related to healing and restoration that are embedded in the collective unconscious. These patterns can be activated through the laying of hands, leading to the experience of magnetism. Additionally, Jung also explored the concept of synchronicity, which refers to the causal connecting principle between events that occur together in time. This means that events that appear to be unrelated can actually be meaningfully connected through the underlying patterns of the collective unconscious. In the context of energy exchange, this could explain why certain healers seem to have a remarkable ability to connect with their patients on a deep level and facilitate profound healing experiences. Despite any apparent differences between them, they might be tapping into the same universal patterns and archetypes that govern the healing process. Now, in terms of the healer archetype, Jung suggested that everyone has the potential to embody this archetype to some degree. However, some individuals are more drawn to it than others. Those who do become healers typically have a strong sense of empathy and compassion, as well as a deep connection to their own inner wisdom. Now, despite the positive aspects of the healer archetype, Jung also recognized its shadow, which refers to the darker, more negative aspects that can arise when the archetype is not properly integrated. For example, a healer who is overly focused on fixing others may struggle with their own sense of identity and purpose. They might feel a compulsion to save or control others, which can lead to codependency and a loss of personal boundaries. Now let's shift gears and talk about the dangers of magnetism. While the idea of using energy to manipulate others may seem appealing, it can quickly turn dangerous when it's done for selfish or harmful reasons. Jung warned against the dangers of spiritual inflation, which occurs when individuals become overly focused on their own spiritual development at the expense of their personal growth. For example, someone who is fixated on developing their psychic abilities may neglect their relationships and responsibilities in the material world. This can lead to a loss of balance and an inability to integrate the various aspects of the psyche, which is essential for wholeness and well-being. Moving on to the next point, It's important to recognize that not everyone will respond to our energy in the same way. Some people may pick up on our positive energy and feel uplifted, while others may become agitated or uncomfortable. Jung suggested that this is because each individual has a unique and complex psyche that is shaped by their past experiences and unconscious patterns. When we interact with someone, we are essentially projecting aspects of our own psyche onto them, and they are doing the same to us. The way that they respond to us can therefore provide valuable insights into our own unconscious processes. To close, let's delve into the psychological magnetism of certain individuals. Have you ever encountered someone who seems to effortlessly draw people towards them? Jung suggested that this phenomenon can be explained by the concept of psychic magnetism. According to Jung, every individual possesses a unique psychic field that is shaped by their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Some people have a particularly strong and compelling psychic field that can captivate and intrigue others. This can create a sense of magnetic pull that draws people towards them, regardless of any conscious effort on the part of the individual in question. This phenomenon can be particularly powerful when the magnetic individual possesses a strong sense of purpose or passion. When someone is deeply committed to a particular goal or cause, their psychic energy becomes focused and intense, attracting others who are similarly aligned. This is why individuals with strong convictions, such as activists or religious leaders, can often inspire and mobilize large groups of followers. Overall, Jung's insights provide a rich and complex understanding of the human psyche and the dynamics of energy exchange. By exploring the concepts of the collective unconscious, archetypes, and psychic magnetism, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the subtle forces that shape our experiences and interactions with others. And finally, let's look at this healing session as an example. Let's say someone goes to see a healer claiming they can't sleep at night. During the session, the healer places their hands on the client's chest and says, "Let go of what's disturbing you." The client feels calmer after the session. Now, from a Jungian perspective, the healing session can be seen as a symbolic ritual that helps the client access their unconscious mind. The act of placing hands on the client's chest symbolizes a deep connection and intention to bring about healing. This triggers the client's own healing process by bringing repressed emotions and traumas to the surface. The client feels calmer because they've released the repressed energy, causing their insomnia. Jung would likely view this as an example of psychic energy exchange that leads to healing. As Carl Jung said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." This highlights the importance of embracing and integrating all aspects of ourselves, including the dark and challenging ones, in order to achieve wholeness and balance. And lastly, another quote from Jung: "The most important discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind." This emphasizes the power of our thoughts and beliefs in shaping our reality. Jung believed that we have the ability to transform our lives by changing the way we think and approach challenges. So tell me, have you ever felt someone draining your energy just by being near them? What does that reveal about your own unconscious field? Leave your insight below. Thanks for watching.